of meeting him in person.
Without a doubt, the greatest illusionist of our time, perhaps of all time, David Copperfield sure knows how to make an entrance. Or an exit, come to that. His spellbinding acts have been seen worldwide by more people than any other magician in history, including Houdini. And the fact that he's the 6th highest grossing entertainer, ahead of the likes of Madonna, Kevin Costner, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, proves that people still want a little magic in their lives. A few decades down the line since performing his first card trick, he's more than fulfilled his lifelong ambition of going beyond the impossible.
When I was a little kid, I just loved, having a hobby of first ventriloquism. It was about, I had a little friend. I was an only child, so it kind of was my companion. And I would do shows in school, in elementary school, and slowly I started doing more magic than ventriloquism. And I made my teacher disappear, and I was very popular. And here I am today.
Obviously a child prodigy when it came to all things magical, the boy who was born David Kotkin became the youngest person ever to be admitted by the Society of American Magicians at the age of 14. By 16, he was teaching magic at New York University. Never mind the sleight of hand, his illusions require sleight of body.
I was Divino the boy magician, as opposed to Divino the man magician, because I was 12. My father came up with that name, and he likes Italian things, even though he's not Italian. But I think he probably picked Divino for that. So, and I did shows. I did a lot of shows for the kids. $5 a show, half-hour show. It's pretty good. And then I chose the name David Copperfield, and I'm not sure it was a good decision or a bad decision. It stuck. But I was about 18 years old. And I was about to star in a show in Chicago where I got to sing and dance and do magic. And David Copperfield, So I share my fame with Charles Dickens from now on.
Although in these last days of the 20th century, Charles Dickens is probably the last thing that springs to someone's mind when they hear the name David Copperfield. But how does it actually feel to be able to stun audiences the world over with your towering talent in the magical realm of illusion? Sometimes
I don't enjoy it. Sometimes it hurts. But most of the time, it's quite wonderful. You can forget about anything, It's a very athletic event. It's a very kind of physical thing. It's like a real workout to do that. And a bit dangerous, too. So sometimes you're concentrating on the danger aspects, or, your muscle control that you're using, and it's less fun. But when you can forget about those things, it's like a gymnast who is so used to it, they're thinking about the feeling as opposed to thinking about exactly where to put their hands or where to swirl their body around. And I think that's a pretty good analogy.
The famous flying carpet trick, but without the carpet, or any other means of support that can be seen, come to that. Spectacular illusions like these require an incredibly complex process of design and intensive practice, and they're definitely not something that should be tried at home. And to prove that wizardry a la David Copperfield involves no camera tricks or video effects, he always performs before a live audience. Just ask the people who watched the Statue of Liberty disappear, or witnessed him walk through the Great Wall of China. Weaving magic on this scale requires not only superb athleticism, but some pretty serious equipment. And it seems that David hasn't thrown anything away since he first began to dabble in the magic arts.
And we're standing here in Mr. Copperfield's studio warehouse, where we keep a variety of old illusions. We work on new illusions. We have cataloged almost everything that David has ever done from the time he was a small child till last night's show. So we're over in the annex of the studio. You're looking at a lot of old props and active boxes and cases and things that are actually part of the show now, as well as old things that David's used in old TV specials or old magic tricks on the road. This part of the warehouse has everything that we have, that David has, that we're currently not doing on stage. And then his own stuff we keep cataloged from the time he started. You can see some Davino props up there, all the way till things that we're using even on stage today, like the fan. This is a box that's empty right at the moment. This is the actual part of the fan that David walks through. This box, if you can picture this, is a fan that's this big with huge blades that spin around, and David's actually able to walk straight through those blades and live through it. And as you can see, this is not an easy box to move around. It's quite large.
Quite large would be a bit of an understatement when it comes to describing David's achievements in taking magic to a whole new level. And he's been honored in countless ways for his seemingly effortless enchantments. The Magic of David Copperfield, a TV series, won dozens of Emmys, and he's twice been named Entertainer of the Year. And he's the only magician in history to receive his own star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But the accomplishment that he's most proud of is a rehabilitation program named Project Magic. Designed to strengthen dexterity and motor use in disabled patients by using simple sleight of hand movements, it's been implemented in 1,000 hospitals around the world. Needless to say, this particular trick is not on the curriculum. Wow, that gives a whole new meaning to dicing with death. But for this man, taking risks is just an ordinary day at the office.
These spikes are really an interesting remnant of something I did that was very scary for me, where I would hang above these spikes, and they are quite real. The spikes were on fire, flaming spikes beneath me. I was 10 stories in the air hanging from flaming ropes. That was crazy, but I did the escape, and I didn't end up like shish kebab. Yeah, shish kebab there? Okay, come on. This is another escape, what's left of it. I did an escape from an exploding building, an imploding building, where I was locked inside of a safe, a little tiny safe, and the building was literally with explosives all through it, and it would implode around me. And I did escape, here I am. But when we dug the safe out, the safe was totally crushed except for this door. That's what the door looks like. It was a brand new, beautiful safe, and that's what we pulled out of the wreckage there. So I love that. It's a really great little trinket from that. And this is from the Broadway show that we did a couple years ago. This is a laser would come out of this eye, and that's an illusion I'll be bringing to South Africa with me. It's pretty interesting. I get sawed in half by this eyeball. It's so funny to see these things in a new context. Last time I saw this was in China. We brought it all the way to China, at the Great Wall of China, and this is where I made my appearance in the Forbidden City. We got permission to perform in the Forbidden City, even though that at that time, this is maybe 15 years ago, no one had ever been given permission to shoot in such a sacred area. It's pretty interesting, and there it is. This is the table of death. I'd have to be lying down on this table. The rope would be on fire, and I have to escape before the spikes skewer me. And this is something we went on tour with, and the spikes are so heavy that in theaters, when we performed, as the spikes would crash, the wheels went through some floors in some theaters, and we destroyed some very old theaters, and they don't like me anymore.
Next on Top Billing, more mastery by the greatest magic artist in the world.